Keith, thanks so much for sitting down with me, man.
Pleasure.
It's great to see you. I mean, look, at the beginning of this season, you guys, you went through it a little bit, and with that expectation that I guess was on you, taking over a club like this, there's a lot that comes with that. But now you look at where you are in that table, you're 7th and absolutely flying. I mean, did you see it getting to this point? Did you believe in the players that they could be where they are right now?
Yeah, I said to the players the very first day, they came back in different slots because of the international boys coming back a little bit later, but I did say day one, and then eventually when we had everyone together, the biggest reason I was excited about being the head coach was what's in this room with these players, because I felt like there was so much ability and so much growth within the group, and I knew the characteristics of the players really well. Having been here, I knew what types of people we had that wanted to strive, didn't just want to survive, didn't just want to plod. So I knew there was so much within the group. Having said that, the way the pre-season materialised, it wasn't plain sailing to start with. I think the culture of the club that had been built over many years was being threatened a little bit. And I think we had to go through some choppy waters, tricky results. And then from that point where we thought, yeah, okay, this is us, we need to just roll our sleeves up and stick together and do what we do. And I think we've just grown from that, really.
Yeah. And do you think it's now a case of, saying to those players, look how far that you've come from the start of this season and crack on for those European places?
I don't really speak about that, to be honest.
Really?
I'm even privately, I'm not just with players, staff, I haven't really entertained that word. I just feel like it's the next game. Like it's just the way I work. Whether that's right or wrong, I'm not entirely sure. I'm still getting used to this. But yeah, everything goes into the next game. Everything goes into the preparations for that and the detail and how we can win basically and approach it in a fearless way to stop the opposition, imprint our personality on the game and try and find a way of winning.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, you said you haven't been in this job long, but what have been your biggest learnings so far, other than, it is all about the next game?
I think you just constantly learn. I don't know whether there's one biggest thing. I think what I think I've done well from day one has been just go day to day and focus on what is the priority that day, that week. Try and really communicate with the group, whether you're playing, whether you're not playing, where we want to go to this week, what the plan is. Keep pushing, keep striving, keep being really demanding of each other. And I think the learnings come organically, win, lose or draw. Yeah. You learn a lot from the tough times, obviously I have in my career, full stop, which has probably brought me to this point of my life where I'm pretty calm in my own shoes, what I do, how I do things. I'm a big learner, like I always have been a big learner. Once that penny dropped quite a long time ago. And I think I've got a group, I know I've got a group that are pretty aligned to that. Well,
one member of that group that the whole of the Premier League have been learning about all season is Igor Thiago. I mean, how have you seen his trajectory so far? I mean, has he changed from that person that you first saw come in the summer?
It's been immense. The way he approaches training every day, you've got to get the reins on him to hold him back, because he, as you can imagine, he trains all out. Which I don't always want on our own centre half. So it's he's just been so impressive, the way he's taken to the league, the way he's performed really consistently. I use Bournemouth as one example of his level of performance and how he's evolving his game. He didn't actually score in that game, but he was the basis for us winning the game. He's on an upward trajectory for sure, and he's just a joy to work with day to day. Yeah.
Is it great to be working with strikers also with a World Cup kind of in view as well? Are you not in his ear being like, you can get in that World Cup team, you can be leading Brazil out as well?
Not just strikers, all of them. It's just there, isn't it, the World Cup and how they try and strive for that and get ready for the March window, and they have got something at the end of the season to really push for. But for Thiago with Brazil, it would be, we've spoken about it a lot. We've had Brazil coaches in, watching Thiago, meeting Thiago. I've been in contact with him, so he's well and truly on their radar.
I mean, you guys had, such a tough summer that you had to go through. Clearly, like the spine of the club almost got, kind of moved away in an instant. You lost Mbumo, Christian Norgard, Johan Wisser as well. Obviously, changing managerial duties. how do you feel like the importance for Brentford is to get that stability back and to get a group of players that you know are yours and you're here to fight long term?
Yeah, I think if we didn't have the stability that we had and the characters that we had, staff and players alike, I think we would have been in trouble. I think that's the reality of it. I think when you look at any football club that has had a manager that has been consistently successful over a long period of time, which Thomas was, when that manager leaves, invariably there's creaks, there's potential problems. And Thomas was that here. He did a phenomenal job with other people, obviously, but Thomas was at the forefront of that. So I would have thought that a lot last year in my previous role when I was here. Whoever takes over from Thomas, obviously not known at the time it would be me, had a big act to follow. So I was well aware of it, but having to deal with it and implement things and recognise what are absolutely non-negotiables that we have to maintain and then enhance has been a really big part of what I focused on.
I think that was one of the things as well when we were seeing the players coming into Brentford and we looked at someone like Jordan Henderson. And I remember I interviewed him here at the beginning of the season and I kind of said to him about, does he feel that he's going to have to step into this club in such a leadership role? Do you think he's done that and added to that stability, as you said?
Yeah, Jordan's got huge presence for obvious reasons. He's done pretty much everything that there
he's
is
done
to
all right,
be done. He's been phenomenal, hasn't he? He drove one of the biggest clubs in world football for such a long period of time, and then what he's done is for his country. So he's a huge player. So that can work both ways for me. That can work in a way where he comes into the dressing room and people are looking at him in awe and not quite getting him because he has come from a different place to the vast majority of our players who are on an upward trajectory because of the age profile naturally. But I think the longer the season's gone on, the more he's settled into the groove of what we're about, vice versa, and then the cohesion of the group, not just Jordan, overall of on the pitch and off it, maybe even more importantly, has become tighter and tighter.
I know a question that was maybe too early for him to answer when I first asked him, so I'll ask his manager. I mean, in terms of his World Cup hopes, I mean, when you see him in training, are you like, England have got to take this player?
Yeah, I think he'll go.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking for Thomas Tuchel, obviously, because it's not from me, but I think the nature of the journey that he's had coming back into that squad, his role within it, again, touching on pitch, off pitch, won't just be on the pitch, it will be everything he can bring off the pitch. And when you're away at a major championships, there's a lot of downtime, there's a lot of travel, there's a lot of time in the hotel where it's not just about 4, 5, 6, 7, 90-minute games. It's everything that goes around, the experience that he brings. He's physically still in a really good place. His standards are very, very high. He's an ultimate professional, how he prepares for games, how he recovers from games and gets ready for the next one. So I'll think he'll go, but who knows? Yeah.
Just back on yourself quickly. I mean, it must be an incredible thing to see where you are when you look back on it. When you go back to your punditry days, I mean, you look at that from then to now. I mean, pundit easier than being a manager, would you say?
Apparently.
Yeah. Do you view it differently though? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously you'd seen the game before, in its entirety. But when you go from being a pundit to being a manager, you're going, oh, I know they're going to be saying this or what they're going to be saying this week.
Yeah, I've been all right with it because I did a role like that alongside coaching. I've always coached. And the reality is people are entitled to their opinion. Yeah. That's the way the world works. That's the way we want the world to work. So I've never had a problem with that. The reality is it's nice if everyone says nice things about you. Yeah. That's not the real world. So I'm good with people saying whatever they feel they should say. And it genuinely doesn't affect me one way or the other. I learned that quite early as a young player when I was playing at Wolves and got into the first team and the senior players were going, don't read the local paper because they'll love you now. Yeah. They won't love you in 6 months, trust me. So.
You got the insights. You know how it works. That's it. You can figure it out one step ahead. Look, I'm going to let you go soon because I know obviously you've got to go to Newcastle, getting on a plane straight after this. Just on that quickly, on Eddie Howe and I guess what you've made of Eddie's time at Newcastle and how he's kind of changed that team and what he's done for them and the fans.
I think he's a brilliant coach. I really do. Over so many years, Bournemouth obviously. Initially in the journey he brought them on, the way the team evolved, the way the team plays. And I think you can see resemblances of the Bournemouth team and the Newcastle team, the work rate, the tenacity, the energy, playing exciting football, which Geordie fans like to see. Really, really impressive coach. The journey he's brought the club on, obviously. And it's going to be a really tough game for us, but one I'm genuinely looking forward to. I always like going to St James Park.
Yeah, who doesn't? Well, can be tough. Yeah. And lastly, obviously we're not on because we've got the FA Cup coming up, but I have to ask you about that draw. Macclesfield, is that going to be the chat in the dressing room before that game? Is that just going to be look what can happen in a tournament like this? Yeah,
like we will approach that game with absolute respect. We want to get through. We underestimate no team. Yeah. It's pretty obvious what happened in the last round for them. Monumental result in the history of the competition, and for them, particularly this season, the journey that they've been on. So we won't underestimate, but equally we want to get through. We know we'll have to work hard, fight, and do the right things.
Fantastic, Keith. Thanks so much, man.
Cheers, buddy.
Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.